Hello, everyone. We'll give you a minute to join the meeting. Super excited to have you all on the call today. Thank you so much for your time this evening. My name is Zoe Dybdahl. I serve as the Associate Director of our MPAc program. I am joined this evening by two of my esteemed colleagues, Eric and Alex, who I'll let them introduce themselves here in a few minutes. But this is a Zoom session, actually the first one that we've done of this, where we're able to dive a little bit deeper into our 3-degree programs that are ideal for some of our early career professionals here at the Graduate School of Management at UC Davis. Namely, these are our innovative Masters of Management, which is a great business discipline, and we're going to dive into that first. We will then talk about our Master's in Professional Accountancy program, talking about what makes that degree different from an different from an MSBA, where are people going and what are they doing with this degree? And then, of course, talking about our Master's of Science in Business Analytics, the ever popular San Francisco-based program that is really focusing on innovation and data. So really excited to have you all here. Thank you so much for your time. Please note that this is a recorded webinar, so we will be having this as a recording. We will have Q&As at the end where we will stop recording, so you can feel free to have discussions with us at that time. We will also be monitoring the chat. So if you do have any burning questions that you want to make sure that we are kind of addressing as we're going through the content, we will be monitoring that and more than happy to take any questions as we go along. And with that, I will let Alex introduce herself and share a little bit about MM.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. My name is Alex Svensson. I am the Director of Admissions for MBA and MM programs, Master of Management, for long if you need. So today we're going to be focusing on Master of Management. So if you're looking for a really great broad degree that's going to give you a ton of foundational business skills that you can take into any industry, any business functional area, MM is your degree. What's wonderful about UC Davis is that we offer multiple formats to meet your needs as a student. So whether you are looking to go to school full-time or hoping to study part-time or completely online, we've got you covered. So we have the 4 different programs available: full-time in Davis, part-time in Sacramento or in San Ramon, and then completely online from the comfort of your home. These programs typically are either 9 months if you're full-time or 15 months if you're part-time or online. And we have multiple start dates available for the programs that you'll see here. The big takeaways that you're going to get from these programs are leadership skills, tailored career roadmaps, so you'll be able to work with our careers team, and corporate connections across Northern California and beyond. So taking a dive in a little bit deeper, you might be thinking, why should I pursue an MM degree? MM, again, is a great degree for students that are coming straight from undergrad and looking to build up that business knowledge and give them an edge in the career market. So once you complete your degree, you have a broad set of skills that you can transfer to any area, function, or industry. And it's something that employers are starting to gain a lot of traction for. What we're seeing is that this degree was primarily more well known in Asia and Europe. Over the past year, we've seen an increase of corporate recruiters that are starting to recognize MM degrees and the value that students are bringing into the jobs from these degrees. And so we're actually seeing about 70% of corporate recruiters who plan to hire MM graduates in this next year, which is really exciting. The other thing that you're going to pick up from this program is collaborative leadership. And so within the GSM, we have a big focus on collaboration and teamwork. Those are very in-demand skills. You can't replicate those with AI or data. And so really understanding what it takes to work on a team and make things be successful is something that employers value and are looking for. That's ingrained into our curriculum within the Master of Management program. The other thing that's really nice is this is a short, compact degree. You're going to get in, do 9 months or 15 months, and then you'll be ready to jump back into your career. Or in the 15-month program, you'll keep working and apply those skills directly to what you're already doing. We have a wide range of industry connections. This curriculum is based off of our same MBA curriculum for their core classes. And so you're connecting not only with your cohorts, but also our MBA cohorts, our MPAc cohorts, our MSBA cohorts. So that network is pretty broad. And then as I touched on a second ago, you also have the career development services that you can tackle as you're getting ready to graduate and look for that next step in your career. Perfect. So to summarize it's a 36-unit degree. We are STEM designated, which means we have that focus on quantitative analysis and data-driven decision making. Students on average are taking between 8 to 12 units per quarter. Again, this depends on if you're a full-time, part-time, or online student. Again, the flexible formats are designed to meet different needs. So depending on where you're at in your career, this may be a great fit full-time, part-time, or online. And then your cohorts are really small. We want you to get to know your community. So we usually have about 30 to 40 students in each cohort. All right, so diving in just a little bit deeper here, I wanted to give you a quick overview of the differences between the different formats that we talked about. We've already kind of touched on duration, schedule, location, and I think each of these are going to have a little different feel in terms of your cohort. The biggest difference is with your full-time or your online cohorts, you're in class with other students. With our part-time programs, you're typically with our working professional students in the part-time MBA programs. So those cohorts tend to have a little bit more experience. So if you are a little further along in your career and you're maybe looking to add that business knowledge to a more technical degree, the part-time programs might be a really great way for you to do that and still jumpstart your career into management or somewhere after that. All right, and then just a couple of really quick facts to highlight for you. Our courses, as I mentioned, are taught by MBA faculty. Most of the core courses are one-for-one the same content that our MBA students are learning in year one, which is really exciting and valuable. You are going to build connections in your cohort. Um, Most of our students that come through the program are able to really tap into that career readiness piece of things, and they end up in entry-level positions like financial analyst, business analyst, those types of positions. And so we're looking for students that are really looking to get into and get an edge on some of those entry junior level positions here. And then depending on your campus, you're going to have either college lifestyle, comfort of your home, or be networking with our part-time students. Our curriculum follows a set schedule. So for the most part, whether you're on our full-time track, our part-time or online track, these are the courses you will be taking. You'll be working through traditional business areas like statistics, economics, marketing, finance. So it's going to give you more of that broad overall understanding of business topics. To cap off your degree, you do have a comprehensive exam in order to graduate, and that's just going to make sure that you've really absorbed all of that knowledge into your brain and you're ready to launch into the workforce. Career support services, we touched on this just a little bit earlier, but we really do, in the Graduate School of Management, focus on your career. Business school is about getting that job, right? And so as you work your way through the program, our career coaches are really focused on career exploration. If you're coming straight from undergrad and you're maybe not sure what that next step is, this is a great program for you because a lot of the career programming is going to focus on what is my next step, what can I do with this degree, and where can I go? We'll also be able to plug you in with our alumni network, with current students. We'll help you with resume and interviews. So that's all kind of a package deal that comes with coming into the Master of Management program. And I'll pass it back over to Zoe.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Alex. Shifting gears into our MPAc program or our Master's in Professional Accountancy program. This is the program that I have the pleasure of overseeing for the last several years here at UC Davis. We are also a STEM designated degree here at UC Davis, and this is a program that's really focused on supporting students in jumping into the professional accounting space. So this is ideal for people who are looking to launch their career into accounting. It will help engage students with the curriculum to not only prepare them for the CPA exam, but also help them with enabling with the tools and technologies that we are currently seeing being used within the public accounting marketplace. So our students are career ready and ready to really begin working with these firms, already knowing a lot of the applications that they'll be asked to do. In terms of our format, just like the program, we are also a 9-month program, so you get that degree in less than a year. We are a cohort-based program as well, meaning all of my students begin the program in the fall, take all their classes together, and graduate together in the spring. We are lockstep, and I will show what that curriculum looks like here shortly. But that means that each quarter it is predetermined what your plan is to help ensure that you do graduate within those 9 months. We are only offered 100% in person here at UC Davis, so you can really soak up and enjoy that college lifestyle and studying within this ideal college town. Because we are a cohort program, that means that you are able to engage with like-minded individuals that have similar goals and aspirations as to yourself. We find this particularly helpful when it comes to the CPA exam, as our students very frequently will kind of group together, plan to take part of the exam while they're in our program and study and work together, which is really, really helpful. Because we are a cohort program, we also see really strong engagement with our faculty because we are a smaller program and they're really able to have a lot of face time and engagement. As Alex was mentioning, here at the GSM, we do focus on collaboration and community. So we do have many supportive events, staff, dedicated team members who are there to support our students during their student journey. Here is a snapshot of what our curriculum looks like. As I mentioned, it is preset, predetermined, so each quarter you already know exactly what you are taking. Total, you'll be taking 48 units, and all of our core classes are exclusive to our MPAc students, which is really helpful as this program is highly collaborative. There is a lot of teamwork and team engagements that you'll be doing in the MPAc program. The curriculum is focused on not just the accounting fundamentals, but ensuring that you're understanding the applications, whether that is teaching in a methodology that is similar to some of the test questions in the CPA exam, or utilizing technology tools like Alteryx, Power BI to ensure that you're able to apply these learnings into a real world context so that you actually are able to really get that ROI. We do allow a couple of electives. In the fall quarter, we do have an elective of machine learning with Python. And in the winter, we do allow students to choose to waive out of their one core MPAc class for an elective if they meet the eligibility requirement to waive out. But otherwise, it is a pretty rigid program, but that's how we're able to ensure you graduate in 9 months. Just to touch briefly on the California CPA education requirements and the interplay between that and the MPAc program. As you can see here, to qualify for the CPA exam, bringing the MPAc program into it, all you need to have with you before you take MPAc are your business related subjects so that you meet all those education requirements. And then in terms of actual license eligibility, you will see that the MPAc program fulfills all of the education requirements except for, again, those business related subjects. And then of course you're going to want to pass the CPA exam, your clearance, and get your 1 year of experience under a licensed CPA. And just throwing up here, in case people are not as familiar, we do have here the CBA education tip sheet, which does outline what are considered these business-related coursework, as this is the aspect that you would want to bring with you with your MPAc degree. In terms of career support, the MPAc program has a very robust approach to this. Due to the environment of the public accounting landscape, we actually begin working with our students during the summer to prepare them for the career readiness workshops that we will be providing in the early fall. During the summer, we will start having some early touch points with public accounting firms and starting to build some foundational pieces for their career readiness aspects, like their resume, cover letters. And then once we hit September, we will have all of our students come to campus early for additional in-person Career Builder Boot Camp and workshop activities, where we will provide additional workshops, in-person firm networking opportunities, our very popular Meet the Firms, and many alumni engagement opportunities. All this together really helps set up students to have a great foot in the door with all these public accounting firms within the Northern California market and really feel very prepared to start the job search within the public accounting field. And with that, I will let Eric introduce himself and talk a little bit about MSBA.
Awesome. Thanks, Zoe. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. My name is Eric Duarte-McDermott. I am the Executive Director for the Masters of Business Analytics program here at UC Davis. One thing that we're very proud of and one thing that's our biggest differentiator about the MSBA program, as you can see from my background in Zoom, is while we are part of UC Davis and part of the business school, we run our program out of San Francisco. And we wanted to be very intentional why we did that. Because this is a data analytics program, we wanted you to be at the heart of innovation in data. So where our program is located, we are about a 10-minute walk away from Hayes Valley. For those of you who are not familiar with Hayes Valley, it has been nicknamed Cerebral Valley for all the AI startups that are currently taking place within that district. We're walking distance within the Mission district as well, which is a well-known and historic hub for startups and legacy companies here in San Francisco. Just as important, we are STEM designated, and we have a focus that our program combines not only just hard technical skills, but it's taught in a way that brings your hard technical skills with data and how this fits into business. And one not particular industry, but how can this fit into business across various industries? Our students have great outcomes. One is our practicum project, but other is our curriculum and how it is taught. Our students go on into career sectors such as finance, such as supply chain, marketing, social media, consulting, so many different industries, but it is accumulation of our practicum experience as well as our curriculum within our program, and also the strategic location of our program. All right, so big picture MSBA overview. As I said, we're based in San Francisco. Our courses are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So our courses are structured in a way that gives our students the flexibility. I spoke a little bit about the practicum program. I'll go into a little bit more about that. But just a quick snapshot, it is we bring in 30 outside companies every year to work with our students. Our students are paired into groups of 2s and 3s, and they work with the company throughout the year to be able to deliver a deliverable at the end, an analytics-based problem that this company is currently having. Most of the time, the company takes our students' recommendations into effect and has even hired our students in the process or in the past before. So, but the reason why we do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is to be able to give our students the flexibility. Whether you are a visa holder or you are a non-visa holder, it still allows you to have the flexibility to be able to engage and take advantage of all the opportunities that are in San Francisco, as well as take advantage of the opportunities that we provide you both inside and outside of the classroom. Our students have and can work full-time. We are a full-time program. We do not have an official part-time program, but we do have the flexibility within the program for our students to go on a part-time basis. For those of you that might be interested in a part-time program, please feel free to reach out to myself or our academic director, and we work with our students individually to be able to tailor a program that fits their academic and professional needs. In the past, we've had students work full-time and do this program full-time. We've had students work part-time and do the program full-time, and obviously we have our traditional students who go throughout the program full-time and then work, either on a part-time basis, work on campus, or work within our practicum projects. One thing we're very proud of is we were ranked #1 for return on investment by QS Masters Ranking 2026. This is our 5th year in a row. Again, this is a testament to not only the career services that our program will provide you, but also the scholarship opportunities and the job outcomes at the very end of the program to be able to make your ROI as good and as good as possible. All right, so I touched on some of the key differentiators. Like I said, the program is dedicated and it takes place in San Francisco. We're number one for 10-year ROI. Another ranking we're also proud of is that we're top 10 value for degree 5 years in a row as well. Our practicum project. So again, program spanning an industry project with a real impact. So every year we source companies. We have returning companies as big as Coca-Cola, all the way down to startup companies such as Standard Insights. I mentioned Standard Insights because we work very closely with their CEO, who's based in Atlanta, and we're having an upcoming Speed Network event that we're partnering with the MBA program, and he's going to be our keynote speaker. One thing we're excited about is him and his company are developing or are assisting in developing a networking app. And so what Jerry's going to do is Jerry's going to come present his keynote address to our students, give our students a behind the scenes look of what it takes to go from concept to launch within a startup, and allow our students to fully participate in the beta mode as well, especially with the app, to be able to use that app during the networking session. So it goes to show you, the close synergy that we have not only with our alumni, but with our industry partners and with our current students, not only to be able to teach the theory and teach the technical skills within the program, but actually show the business application in the real world in real time. Again, we are also very proud of our Poets and Quants recognition. Last year for 2024, we were placed on the top 10 business schools to watch. We are very proud of that because we're the only West Coast business school on that list. So as Zoe and Alex both said, one thing that is prevalent throughout any of our programs is the innovation that's happening in the students that we bring into the program to elevate the program. I have a supervisor, an old boss that once said, a bad program is where students go and learn from their faculty. A good program is where students go and learn from the faculty and learn from each other. And an elite program is where students go learn from faculty, learn from each other, but faculty learn from them as well. I believe that we have very strong elite programs here at UC Davis. And again, it's the ability to combine not only practical experience, but curriculum on top of a culture that nurtures, fosters, cares, and builds community as well. All right, so we have two different academic plans, or we call them curriculum plans. So we have Plan 2, which is the comprehensive exam. 90% of our students choose this path. Last year was the first year we have redone our curriculum. We used to just have the comprehensive exam, and our program used to go from early August until June. We've actually restructured our plan to include the same amount of units, but to be able to extend it another month. So our students go from August to late July. They have 2 elective courses. The program starts in summer 2 session with a 6-credit unit program. So you have 2 classes. You'll have your practicum. You start your practicum right away and start working with companies right away. You also have a foundation of analytics class. And then we go from fall, winter, and spring. And students finish the last summer, the bookend summer, with 2-credit unit program completion. Within those 2 units, we have opportunities for students to take electives on personal branding. We have more technical electives to allow students to skill up within Python and SQL. We also have students can take advantage of those 2 elective classes and take a self-study class to be able to do a full-time internship in the last unit or in the last quarter of their program right before they go on to graduate and start applying for jobs. One thing that we are very excited and very proud of for this class that just graduated is the students or companies that were part of our practicum project ended up hiring a number of our students for internships at the end of the program. However, it wasn't necessarily just the students that worked on the practicum partnership with those companies. Companies had a great experience and reached out and started hiring our students for internships and their classmates. So it was something we were really, really excited and really proud of, to be able to have great outcomes with our practicum partners and for them to not only want our students back, but then invite them back in an internship and invite students that they necessarily didn't utilize for their practicum projects as well. So Plan 2 is our thesis option. So Plan 1 comprehensive exam is a 44-unit program. Plan 2 in our thesis option is a 50-unit program. Again, it starts in early August. It has the same structure with the exception of the very end of the program. So instead of graduating in summer one, you will take summer two and you will graduate in the fall quarter with the accumulation and the completion of your thesis project or your thesis. Students do not need to declare at the time of admission or at the time of application what program they want to do. All students are admitted into the comprehensive exam plan, and early winter quarter is when we have the selection process for our thesis plan. And the way that goes is students that are interested work with our academic director. Our academic director does a presentation and lays out the application requirements and the application process. Students need to work on developing their own thesis and then pitch it to our faculty and have our faculty agree to take them on as a thesis advisor. Once faculty agree, then they work with the academic director and students move over from the comprehensive plan into the thesis plan. So again, you do not need to decide and tell us at the beginning or of the program or at the application stage. You will have plenty of opportunity to have 2 quarters under your belt before you decide to see if the thesis plan is the right plan for you. No matter what plan you choose, we are a STEM designated program, meaning our students have up to 36 months of OPT when they graduate. We are a very technical program, but we also really highlight how business. So we highlight, we have an intersection of data analytics and business throughout our curriculum. And to see how the visualization of that works, we broke it down into quarters and then also analytics, data, and business. So as you can see, your first summer, you'll take your foundations of analytics class along with your practicum project, and your practicum project goes all the way through the whole year until spring. But fall, winter, and spring is where you have a mix of analytics, data, and business. So everything from statistical reasoning, exploration, to advanced statistics and machine learning and artificial intelligence, to data design and management, to analytical decision making, and finally big data, followed by a number of elective classes, one that takes place in your spring quarter and the rest that take place over the summer quarter. So, and with that, Zoe, I will turn it back over to you.
All right, awesome. So hopefully that was helpful in allowing you to understand some of the key differences in terms of what all these wonderful, innovative degrees can offer you. Just to talk a little bit further about these different degree programs, some of the commonalities as well as some of the differences. Started off with who is in the classroom, right? And just to say, for Master's of Management, I believe this is based off of the full-time in-person cohort only in terms of this data, but you can see that for MM and MPAc, we actually have pretty similar class sizes from 2024, which was roughly around 30 students. Similar in terms of MSBA, in terms of the average age, because for all these 3 degree programs, these are programs that are ideal for people who are relatively early in their careers, whether they are straight from undergrad or maybe have a couple of years and they're looking to pivot. So you can see average age and average work experience are roughly the same area. In terms of where students are coming from, for our MM program, majority business, arts, and humanity background, but we do have a variety of different people that come and do the program. For the MPAc program, obviously, given the application to the CP exam, we do have a pretty strong business background, people who come to our program, but also engineering, social sciences are close runner-ups. And then for MSBA, it is predominantly business and mathematical computer science backgrounds, but we do see engineering and economics students that are coming through there as well. Moving on, talking a little bit about what you can do with a degree. So Alex, maybe you can share a little bit about the career aspect, but in terms of what people are doing directly after they graduate from MM, and what are some of the common feedback that you're hearing from your students?
Yeah, so just to be completely honest with you guys, is a relatively new degree for us at UC Davis. So we launched in 2024. The class profile data that you saw on the slide before is actually our first graduating class. So we are very excited that they are out on the road and jumping into those careers. That being said, our cohort was primarily made up of students from a wide range of majors and backgrounds, and their goals were kind of varied. They were looking to get into marketing and finance and, entry level business. And so I think the careers that we're starting to see our students land into are those types of financial analyst role, business analyst, insurance agent, right? Like, so they are kind of landing in these entry junior level positions in a wide range of the fields, but they're well set up to continue to advance in their career because of the leadership skills that they picked up. So pairing that with an internship, so let's say you do an internship in the summer before you start the program, is really going to give you an ideal leg up as you graduate the program to move into maybe a little higher position or a more targeted position based on that experience that you already had from your internship. So really pairing that plus the is what we recommend as you come through the program. What we are hoping that our will do after they graduate, so after a couple of years, is that we will see them start to move into more of those leadership roles within a wide range of business functional areas and industries. Again, this degree is really meant to give you that broad business knowledge that sets you up to work in a wide range of industries and areas. So that is what we anticipate will happen based on what we've seen happen in more Europe and Asia markets where this degree is already kind of prominent. And the really exciting thing about this degree is that we were the first in the UC. So our graduates will be the first out there representing UC and kind of building the brand of what it means to have an degree.
Awesome. And compared to the wonderful flexibility that an provides, MPAc is a little bit different, but good in our own way. So for our MPAc program, it's a very kind of clear career trajectory. My students are utilizing this program to begin working at public accounting firms. For the last several years, we've had very strong placement rates given our strong Northern California market. While our students leave the program, they also have typically started part of their CPA examination process. And we typically see that our students directly after they begin working at those firms and stay there for 1 to 3 years while they wrap up their CPA licensure. Because again, the CPA is a 4-part exam, plus you need at least 1 year of work experience before you can claim that licensure. In terms of longer range, what our alumni are doing, we've predominantly seen 2 different paths. One is that having a master's in accounting, having that CPA licensure, having the professional polish that the UC Davis degree provides, these alumni are really growing into leadership roles with these public accounting firms. What's also really great is the MPAc program provides so much exposure, not only through the recruiters and the firms that we bring in, but also your peers, your fellow alums that are going to these other firms. So we are seeing that alumni, even after graduating, they're really still using that strong MPAc Rolodex, whether they want to go from Big Four to maybe something a little more mid-sized, a little more family-friendly. So we're seeing that a lot. The other primary pathway is that after those 3 max years at a public accounting firm, our alumni are pivoting out and going into leadership roles in industries that have more of an alignment with their personal interest. So for example, I recently had lunch with one of our alumni, did the MPAc program, started working at a Big Four, stayed there for a couple of years, got their licensure, and now he is working specifically doing consulting for audit within the wine industry and working with some specific wine players. So still doing things that relate to what he learned and leveraging that CPA licensure, but now he is specifically working in consulting for wine. So more of the industry of that he was specifically interested in. Eric, do you want to comment a little bit about what we see, what MSBA students are doing with their degree?
Yeah, thanks, Zoe. So our MSBA students, about every year, 60% of our class has about 3 years average work experience, and about 40% of our class does come straight out of undergrad and does not have work experience. We also have a number of students that have over 5+ years of work experience. But regardless if you are someone coming straight out of undergrad, have a couple of years of work experience, or more senior, our students have a number of career trajectories they go into across a number of different industries. Some being tech, which we think of, even though tech is kind of every industry now, but the more traditional Apples, the Metas, we have alumni that go into, or students that go work on at Meta, go work at Apple, go work at Google as analysts, as data analysts, data scientists. We have students that go into finance, students that go into Goldman Sachs as a financial analyst, but more on the data-driven side. Supply chain, we have alumni at FedEx. We have alumni at Amazon as well, also at Home Depot and at Walmart. Social media, we do have students that went on to go to Pinterest. One of our students actually just got, not social media, but this is more on previous examples. One of our students just got hired at Alibaba, but for social media, Meta, for Pinterest, and as well as TikTok, consulting firms like McKinsey. But our students go on to be analysts, business analysts, data scientists. Also, some of our students go on to do the PhD programs. For example, we had an alumni that came, did our program, was a data scientist at Tesla for 3 years, and then now is at Michigan Ross doing his PhD program. We do have a number of students that also go on to do their PhD. Or go on to be data scientists. Usually the students that go on to be data scientists have a background in research before they come to the program, but that's not to say that that is exclusive only to students who have a background in research. One of the driving components of adding the thesis component to our program is for students who are thinking about being either a data scientist or maybe using this program to work and then go into a PhD program. Our Dedicated Career Services, we work with you from the time that you start the program and help identify our students coming from a number of backgrounds. So one of the biggest misconceptions about our program is you can only be in this program if you have a computer science background, if you have an engineering background, or if you have a math or quant background. While we do have students from all of those disciplines, we also have students that have non-traditional backgrounds, so business backgrounds, econ backgrounds, non-quantitative backgrounds. We actually have an alumni that came in as a classically trained pianist, and then got a job at Goldman Sachs in finance. So again, we work with you from the time that you start the program, help identify your past experience, or if you're coming from undergrad, maybe internship experience, and really identify what that job looks like after you graduate the program, and then help work with you, whether it's through one-on-one individual coaching sessions, it's resume reviews. We give our students access to a company called Interview Query. You get access for the whole year. You start in January and you go all the way until January. And this company was started by two data scientists that when they were applying didn't have any resources to be able to prepare for a data scientist or data analyst interview. So they started this company. This company is a platform on how to prepare for these interviews, includes case-based interview questions, includes resume critiques. It also includes um, uh, quantitative kind of prep questions as well. But within that, like I said, students go into a number of different industries across a number of different companies. Their second job after their first job of their program is usually where our students have a huge jump. They either go from from data analyst to senior data analyst, senior data scientist. Some even go into project management or product management. Again, all depending on the company and the industry that our students work with. But we do see our average career, our average salary for our students, and this includes 80% of our class and all students, is over $100,000. What we do see is a significant jump from the first job to the second job within our program as our students or our alumni move into those data scientists, data analysts, and product manager roles. Zoe, turn it back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So now talking a little bit about the admissions and some of the similarities and differences between our programs. So currently both MM and MPAc are accepting applications for this fall, where MSBA is currently accepting applications for summer. But all of our applications are currently open, so you can apply for any of these programs. What you may notice on our website is that All of our programs have multiple application rounds, so those deadlines can be found on the website for the corresponding degree that you are interested in. The great thing about these multiple application deadlines is they are milestones that you can work around. So you can know, hey, I have availability. I'm going to apply for this upcoming round. I know I'll hear back relatively soon. So that gives you some comfort knowing that you have a milestone you're working around. But they are the same process at every single milestone, every single application deadline. It's just based off of what is the date that really works best for your schedule. All right, in terms of some shared components for all of our degree programs, in terms to be eligible, you are going to want to have your bachelor's degree, or for our individuals who completed their schooling overseas, you want to make sure you have a equivalent to a U.S. bachelor's degree. And then the other minimum eligibility requirement is that we do not allow you to hold duplicate graduate degrees. So if you already have a master's in accounting, sorry, you can't do the MPAc program. But it is relatively straightforward in terms of the minimum eligibility. In the application, you are going to want to provide your resume, your transcripts, and have 2 professional recommenders identified as part of the application process. For all of these programs, you will see as part of the application questions about English language examinations. For all of us, we accept TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. If you meet the waiver, which is either completing your degree at a U.S. completing your degree at a U.S. institution or completing your degree overseas at an institution which is provided solely in English and is listed as so in the IAU World Higher Education Database. You do not need to take those English language examinations. You can claim that waiver. Otherwise, you'll want to provide your scores as part of your application. And for all of these programs, we do conduct interviews, but I promise it's not too scary. The purpose of the interviews is just to get to know you a little bit better and make sure that it's a good fit for our program. All right. Some of the differences in our programs in terms of the admissions process. First is going to be prerequisite coursework. So for the program, there are no required prerequisite coursework, but quant skills are recommended, like statistics or a pre-calc class, just to best prepare for the learning outcomes that you'll be exposed to while in the program. For my program, we do have 4 courses that are very specific that we require. That's going to be your financial accounting, managerial accounting, business law, and statistics. And for MSBA, they also will have some prerequisite coursework required across the field of computing, mathematics, and statistics. All of these applications are also going to require some essay prompts. All of them are going to require personal statements. The program is also going to ask for a video essay. And Alex, can you share a little bit about what the video essay is and why it actually is really cool?
Yeah, so it's hard when we evaluate your application to get a feel for who you are. The video essay is our way of allowing you some face time to tell us about yourself and tell us what you want your classmates to know about you. So this is a really interactive piece of the application for you to shine and show us your personality in a way that you might not be able to articulate through an essay or through your resume. So it's something fun, it's something short, it's something quick. You have 3 chances and then your video is locked in. So do a couple bloopers and then make sure that last one is golden and submit it in your application.
Awesome. I definitely would be submitting my bloopers, but that's just because I love those types of video essays. In terms of our last piece, which is that GMAT GRE score, you will note that and MSBA are both fully optional. Our MPAc program, we do require that exam. However, I do have waivers available for individuals who have that GPA of over a 3.2 and completing their bachelor's degree at a U.S. institution without foreign credits. With that, I go ahead, give you all a minute if you want to scan the QR code, get connected with us further. You will also know in the chat that Alex has been popping on our various programs directly to our websites, as well as information about how to schedule consultations. And I'll leave this here, QR code, for another minute, just in case anyone needs to finish scanning.
And while you're waiting, Zoe, I'm going to go ahead and stop our recording before we jump into those questions.
Perfect.